Hello everyone and welcome to our Notion for Scientists series. In this part, we'll pick up directly from where we left last time. In the first video, we learned about preparing a reading list using Notion. Today, we're going to focus on customizing this reading list so it can become more than just an Excel sheet. The first customization we're going to do is working with views. Notion has 6 different views available, and what that means is how do you want to see your data entries. The first view is what you get by default, the table view. You can click here and check out which views you have already created. You can also use this menu to create new views, so let's see what each one is good for. After the table view, the board view is quite important. This allows you to segregate your entries based on a categorical or select property. In our example, we created the property called status. If I create a board view using the select property, the entries get separated into pending or completed based on how many levels my status or the select property has. The next view is the timeline view, where you can fractionate your entries based on a time property. For the reading list, it could be your due date. In case I had another time property and I wanted to specify which time property the timeline view should use, I can go here and specify. Next, the calendar view provides a similar functionality but looks more like a calendar and actually shows the days of the week, which the timeline view does not. The next is the list view, which is a simplified version of a table view. And the last is your gallery view, which shows you entries like a gallery. This is the part where you can customize it as you wish. It's after all your personalized reading list. What you do need to know in order to make the best use of these views is the next customization option called filtering and sorting. If you haven't already guessed by the name, you can filter and sort these entries using these options. For example, I want to have my articles sorted by their status. First, I want to see the pending articles and then the completed ones. To do that, I'll go to this sort button and add a type of sort here. For categorical variables, you'll need to tell Notion which categories are prioritized first. For that, just click on any of your entries and change the ordering of the status variable so that Notion knows which one comes first. What if I want to add another layer of sorting? Maybe I also want to sort based on the due dates. You can do that too by adding another sorting layer. With sorting out of the way, let's move to the filtering option. This allows you to see certain entries inside a view. For example, I have this table view called completed, where I only want to see the articles that I have finished. To do that, I'll create a new table and I'll add a filter to that says status should be completed. And here it is, all the articles that I have completed. Here are 2 examples where I use my filter options. First is a revision list. I like to revise papers that I have recently read so that they stay in my memory. For that, I have a revision list that contains all the papers I have read within a month. Another way I use is to find articles of interest. For example, I have tagged articles that I'll need to write my PhD thesis as PhD thesis. When I'll be ready to write the thesis, I'll go create a temporary view just so that I don't disturb my original views. Then I'll filter this database to contain only those papers tagged as PhD thesis. Again, using the filter and sort views, you can create multiple views of your database and just look at them from a different perspective. So your original database stays the same, but you're just looking at it from different angles in your different views. With that, let's move to the most important part about a reading list: adding your own summary. In case you haven't realized, each entry in this database is a page of itself that you can open by clicking on the entry. Here you can add your own text. I use this to write down summaries of the papers that I've read. We'll go back to our own reading list. Let's type summary here and we'll make it a header. Then I'll type my own summary. This part brings me to something called templates. Well, since every paper that I read will have a summary of its own, I should not have to waste time writing down these headers in every pages. So here's where the template is used for. Templates are pages that contain pre-formatted text, something you're going to use very often. For example, here I'm going to create a summary of all my read papers. Instead of typing summary and formatting it every time, I can create a template in this database. Now, every page in this database can use this template. I personally have two templates, one for summary and questions. Yes, I do email authors when I have a question from their papers, and sometimes they also respond. Next, I do have a template for summary and word bites. These are sentences that I liked a lot from an article, so I would like to keep them, probably for writing a paper of my own in future, and just because they would be useful in some other way. Before we close today's session, let me give you a quick bonus tip about something called automated entries or automated properties. Automated properties are those properties whose values are decided based on some variable that you cannot change. For example, the time of creation of an entry. For now, there are 4 such automatic properties in this advanced section. 2 of these are for collaborative work. Let's add a time of creation to our reading list. So here, you can use these automated properties as you see fit. Before closing this video, let's do a quick dive of what we learned today. We learned how to add views in Notion, sorting and filtering the data, and adding templates to your database, and also adding automated properties. With that, you're ready to have an organized list. Here, I'll show you all the properties and views that I have for my list in case you want to take any ideas. If you're liking this Notion for Scientists series, watch out for more episodes coming soon. Till then, goodbye.